All right, yeah. So we are talking hemp here with the men behind Hill City Hemp, located in North Spring, the really chilly cryotherapy place by Kyle House Fitness on Main Street. We've done a story there too. A lot of you guys liked it because I was freezing my, you know what, off. But it does work, energizes you. So it makes sense that you guys are sharing a space. Let's introduce ourselves, like boom, 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 and then get into trying some CBD.
My name is Jay Brewer. I'm the founder of Hill City Hemp.
I'm Eddie Kirkpatrick. I'm in sales.
I'm Brett Moldenhauer. I'm the education and public announcement awareness.
Okay, so a lot of you guys have heard about CBD. Tell people what it stands for if you don't know. I don't know.
Actually,
Brett's the educational.
Yeah.
Okay.
So CBD stands for cannabidiol.
Hold on one second. What are your hours, just real quick?
Here we're open Monday through Friday, 8 in the morning to 7 p.m. and then Saturdays from 10 to 3.
And you guys can find that on Facebook, Hill City Hemp. So CBD stands for
Cannabidiol, and cannabidiol is actually, we create this naturally in our system. The purpose of CBD is actually to create.
Is it kind of like melatonin?
Well, in a way that it can help us sleep, but CBD works with homeostasis in the body.
What is homeostasis?
Balance. Everything is about balance, okay? What people don't realize is our body naturally creates this chemical.
Oh.
So we can find CBD, actually you can find CBD extracted out of black pepper, you can get it out of kava kava.
So why do we need more of it?
Well, what happens is our body creates this natural cannabidiol in our system, and we have two special receptors called CB1 and CB2, and those actually would allow us to absorb. Now, in the cannabis plant where the CBD is the most abundant and the most cheapest to extract, those are called Phyto Cannabinoids. When we make it ourselves, it's called endocannabinoids. We can have a cannabinoid deficiency system in our body where we actually have a lower amount, and when you don't have them,
lower vitamin D.
yes,
like,
bingo, yeah, right. So
okay.
what does that translate into? That translates into inflammation and pain. That translates to not good deep sleep. That translates to anxiety and stress.
We all have
that's
so
a
much
big one.
going.
Right.
If you're busy, yeah.
Right. So what I would say is CBD, when it balances your body in homeostasis, the side effects are of an optimal system is deep REM sleep, anxiety's gone, reduction of inflammation and pain. And when you look at all of the conditions we can have in our body for disease, they're going to arise from those three basic constructs.
Really?
So inflammation, 90% of our conditions are all inflammatory.
Yeah.
Crohn's disease is an inflammation of the bowel. Was found by Dr. Crohn's. So we have all these different names for things, but at the end of the day, it's inflammation run amok.
Okay, so what do you do to calm inflammation? Because you're saying like all these factors can cause it. So I guess CBD is one way to calm inflammation.
Yes.
How about like a cryotherapy probably is a different
I'm glad
type
you
of
said
way.
that. So what you can do is you can layer those.
All right,
So now-
business is open, you guys, go ahead.
So you can layer these. So when you go into the cryotherapy chamber, what you're reducing is inflammation at the level of the bloodstream. What we're doing here with CBD is changing how your body balances inflammation at the level of the neurotransmitters. So you're actually layering these, and that's what a lot of people are doing. You're mixing between the CBD, between the cryotherapy, and interestingly enough,
Smoking some weed.
well, that's interesting you say that, because if you are going to smoke some weed, you're going to get the THC and the CBD in it.
Right.
However, with the hemp product, the THC is taken out to a degree where you don't get any of that high, but you get all the other benefit of the phytochemical plant. A couple things that you need to understand about CBD in general.
Okay.
There's two basic categories. There's full spectrum, which has all the cannabinoids in it, plus a tiny bit of THC. Now, when you hear that and go, oh, the reality is, across the country since the Farm Bill passed, we're allowed to have 0.3% THC in a full spectrum cannabinoid product.
Okay.
Now, think about non-alcoholic beer. It's got, yeah, I know, but it's got 1% alcohol in it.
Okay.
No one sits there and goes, oh my goodness, there's 1% alcohol in that beer, I'm going to get drunk.
Right.
No one sits here and goes, there's 0.3% THC. The purpose of the THC in the full spectrum is to allow all the cannabinoids to fit together and work in a big symphony.
So I see different, I like the word symphony, milligrams. I am a little girl, not really, but in size. So what should I start with? Like take it easy? Because like
So-
there's like 250 milligrams, 1,000 milligrams just for like my size. Does
Right.
that matter?
Size can matter to a certain degree, but when we're dealing with the neurotransmitters, we're always going to start with a lower number, no matter how big the person is or how small the person is.
Okay.
And typically that's
So
going to
does
be
it not
between,
really matter what
Well,
size you are?
not really.
It's more.
It's more the neurotransmitters in the
Okay,
body. Now,
gotcha.
I will caveat that with is if you're a patient that comes in or a consumer that comes in and says, half a pill sends me flying. I can't take medication. I'm so sensitive to everything.
Okay.
I don't care if it's Tylenol or sleeping pills. I
I'm
can't.
pretty sensitive.
Then we go a little bit lower.
Okay.
But typically we stay between 15, 20 milligrams.
All right,
Free dose
let's
in the
do
beginning.
this. What are we doing?
All right, so what are we gonna do here? We got a bottle. What do we want to use here?
Yeah, there's the
Let's get a 500.
67.
Again, legal, y'all.
Yeah.
Legal.
So this is something we're kind of proud of here that you can take a look, is we've taken away a lot of the guesswork. You'll see people that have 300 milligrams, 500 milligrams. What we've done is you see this number right here, which is 67. One dropper of this bottle is a full 67 milligrams. Half would be 30 some, and then a quarter would be less than that.
I'm like looking at all the
Now,
products.
this little guy right here is a QR scan code. And what's great about this is before you even buy our product, you can scan this and you can actually take a look at the batch number, the lot, the purity, the third party testing on the purity and strength and potency of the particular product. The problem we're having these days is CBD is so prolific and it's everywhere that nobody knows what they're getting. And we're getting less and less of a good quality product, and that's why we have these QR scans to follow the
All
whole
right, the
process here.
anticipation already.
Yes.
I looked at some of the other products we're going to show you. There's CBD for pets, and then I love the patches because they're easy to throw on. I have tried one of those before, not from y'all. And then I have not done this. And then I also see some pain relief cream for athletes.
Which
Cool.
is amazing. Now, the nice thing
Yeah.
about the pain cream, let's just say this real quick here.
Yeah.
There's two types of CBD. You have a full spectrum, which has all the cannabinoids and a little bit of the THC in it. Then you have what's called an isolate, where there is zero THC. This is just a high concentrate of the cannabinoid that goes straight to the
Could
skin.
you put this on any like wounds or no?
Not an open wound,
Okay.
but swelling, inflammation, pain, soreness, tendonitis, arthritis.
Okay.
Amazing.
Okay, cool.
These are flying off the shelves here.
How
in
much
North
do
Spring.
those go for?
These Jay, what's
Those are
this
120.
120,
Wow.
and what you're getting is 3,000 milligrams of pure
So
CBD.
CBD is not cheap.
No.
Okay.
Now, keep in mind, as things grow and the
Well,
farm
quality
bill changes,
things.
well, on top of it, until it becomes a full commodity,
Right. True.
this is where you're going to be.
It's
Okay.
expensive
And-
to process and get.
And keep
Yeah,
that makes sense.
One reason we keep this in a clear glass bottle is we are so proud of the purity and the potency and the quality of this particular
Cool.
product.
You care if I open? Is
No,
this
go
one
ahead.
I'm gonna try?
Yeah, go ahead and try.
I'm gonna try to open it. I was just told I should carry around a knife for these purposes. You don't think so, Shaquem?
So what's going to be interesting here is we're going to do what's called sublingual, which is
Uh-huh.
going to be underneath the tongue.
Oh.
And as you're doing this, you're not going to be able to talk for about 30 seconds.
Oh.
So I'm going to explain some of the other different ways that we can
Okay.
ingest this into the system. So
Okay.
just for fun here, so we can understand what's going on, this 67 milligram bottle right here, this full dropper is 67 milligrams of CBD in here, okay?
Open
Now you're at
up
about
wide, right?
33, right? And then we go. So we're going to go somewhere right about there.
Like a bird.
All right, open under the tongue. Now keep it under the tongue there a little bit more. Open. There you go. Okay, good. This is your bottle. Now, while you're sitting here letting that stay under your tongue, this is called sublingual. So what's happening is it's going into the mucosa underneath the tongue. It is bypassing the gastric system and getting into the bloodstream through that way. In about 15 minutes, you'll be feeling the beginning of these effects. There's 4 ways you can get CBD into your system. It can either be through vaping or inhaling. It can be through the tincture underneath the tongue, which is sublingual. We can do the cream, which is transdermal, which does not go to the bloodstream but stays right at the area where the problem is. And then there's gastric, where you hear about people eating gummies or whatever the case may be. So there's 4 different ways we can ingest CBD, and there's 4 different ways that it affects the body. For acute problems, say for right away, you're going on the golf course, you've got a bad elbow, you can use an inhalation, and that's going to hit you acutely right away. The next one, which I happen to like the most, Eddie's a little different. He likes the gel caps. When he gets them into his system and it breaks through, and we digest it in the belly, he gets a whole body sensation. I happen to like the tincture. It can hit me in about 15 minutes, and I get about a good 5 hours of complete reduction of social anxieties. I mean, this is a breeze after taking some of the drops on this right here. So those are the 4 basic ways that you can ingest into the system. This clinic here is the only kind, one of its kind in the entire United States. You may find a chamber like this in 1 or 2 places, but you will not find any place in the continental U.S. that has the chamber, the massage, the acupuncture, all the other services, the Pilates, all into one group. You won't find this anywhere in the country. And in little old Chattanooga, we have this amazing jewel here. And that's why we're happy to have Hill City Hemp as well.
Hidden gem. Another hidden gem, friend, business owner, Ashlyn Brown of Sisu Sauna, the infrared.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about that?
Back and forth. Matter of fact, we have to tell our clients how much time you have to have in between cold versus hot.
How much time is it?
So it's 2. You can go straight from the sauna. What's the name of those guys?
Sisu.
So Sisu
It's
Sauna.
Ashlyn Brown. is the
Ashlyn
owner.
Brown. So give another plug there.
It's a woman.
A woman. Her
Yeah.
plug there. When you go into the sauna, you can come straight into here. But when you come out of here, you need to have 2 hours before you go do the sauna, because of the way we play with the capillaries and the chemical
What about if
flow
you
and all.
work out and you're hot and sweaty?
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. You come
Okay.
in, we just get you dried off. There's no problem.
Okay,
there.
so 2 hours.
After the chamber, you want to wait 2 hours before you actually hit into an infrared sauna. or
What if
any
you
type
went
of sauna.
infrared sauna first?
No problem.
Oh, okay.
Straight on.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
not a problem.
All right. Cool. Well, I think we've covered all the bases. Thank you, Eddie.
Thank you. Brett, that's
Brett,
Eddie.
Eddie.
She remembers the
Yay.
good looking one, doesn't she?
It's the CBD.
It's the-